Okay, let's give this a go. Let's see, I'm trying to make sure that the music audio is not too overpowering. Okay, maybe I'll leave that up. Let's see. I'm gonna try to adjust this. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Maybe take that music audio down. Alright, cool. Alright, so this is Anthony's model. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I am going to have my mic on right now. In fact, I might even, let me see. Hey Andy, did you, yeah, you did send me a picture, right? Yeah, there we go. So real quick, just by way of, understanding a bit of your intentions with the design, are you taking this so that you can like, are you trying to plus the design in your way, or are you trying to hold true to the concept? Here, we can get rid of this. Okay, it's a stellar design, by the way. I think it's really cool, and I really like what you're doing with it so far. Cool. Let's take the opacity and turn it all the way up. Okay, let's do something like that. And then, yeah. Let's actually go through, and I'm going to say save that spotlight just so that we've got this. Alright. Cool. Cool, so let's take a look at this so far. It's looking super, super great. Okay, so right off the bat, first things that jump out to me would be things like, if you're trying to hold true to the original design, I would look at the things like the shape of the face right here. You're getting this really cool look for the face so far, but it doesn't really read quite like the original design does. And then the other thing that jumps out at me is just that the boots feel too big. They feel a bit more stylized in proportion and things like that down here. So what I would do, let's see, where do we want to start? Let's start with the face, since it's working pretty nicely so far. Let's see. Okay. So some of the things that we want to keep in mind when we're doing, especially female faces, but when we're doing faces in general, is we want to think about how we want to accentuate forms and anatomy, how the face shapes are going to make it read female and feminine and graceful, or whatever the shapes are that we need for that. So far, one of the things I really like about her face, I think there's a way to copy it, right? Yeah, duplicate, sweet. Let's take this, scale her up, bring her over here. Okay, maybe I'll save that spotlight. Replace the old one. Alright, so you can see that she's got this really cool, just very simplified shape. Whereas with yours, we're getting much more of a naturalistic sort of shape. So what I would start off doing, this is going to be kind of destructive, let's see. Start off playing, trying to find the silhouette. A lot of this is going to take away from some of the sculpt work you've already done. Right here we want to try to look for defining face planes, because it feels like in the concept it feels like we're getting a bit more of the actual, you know, plane changes. So I'm just going to come through here and just kind of change my intensity up a little bit. I'm making that a little bit fuller. I like, one of the things I really like that you're doing, yeah, so I'm just using trim dynamic to be able to do that. Yeah, a lot of trim dynamic, a lot of smoothing. I'm just trying to play with pulling that shape. And I'm trying to watch on both sides. Like I may be working on one side, but I'm watching the other to kind of make sure that it's holding the shape that I'm looking for. Let's see, yeah, right here, just trying to figure out, all right, what do I need? What I need to be able to make that silhouette read a bit more true. So I might go through and take that. Kind of pull out some of that plane change right here to hopefully get a little bit more of like a transition here. This way when it hits the hair, it should start to kind of pull in that shape a little bit more. One of the things that we'll want to be careful of, this eyebrow ridge is getting really heavy. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that ridge reads a little bit softer. It helps it to feel more feminine, a little bit more graceful. So I'm just going to kind of polish that out a little bit, and we'll soften it with our smooth brush to pull that out. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, so what I was saying, so I like that you weren't going through and trying to like carve in like these huge, large wrinkles and folds around the mouth. A lot of people will go through and they'll try to like really define that nasolabial fold that kind of goes down around the mouth. And so by not including that, you're helping her to feel more graceful, more attractive, more feminine. It was a good choice. So that's something that's really good going on for you. Something I would do is that her nose in the concept feels like it's got more angles to it. Right here, it's kind of starting to feel a little bit more doughy. And you can see like it's got like these really round transitions. So let's see if we can go through. We can pull this out a little bit better. So I'm just gonna kind of come in What I like to do a lot is I'll mask little bits, like turn my RGB intensity all the way up on my mask, please. There we go, that's better. Good job. And then I'm just gonna go through and try to work out this shape. So the way that I read this is that there's going to be a little bit more of a ridge, a little bit more of a shape design to it, instead of being like just a simple button nose. So what I'm gonna do, let's do something like this. You know what? Let's do that. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of pull that out a little bit just to kind of create a bit of a ridge. And then I'm just going to take it and start moving it into more the position that I think better suits what we're looking for. You'll see like in the concept you're getting this really kind of harsh, like down from the brows to the bridge of the nose, and then from the bridge of the nose kind of straight out. So we're going to want to play with that and keep that in mind as we pull this design together. Kind of use my trim dynamic and kind of go back and forth between a few of these different little brushes. Okay, so you see you're starting to get kind of more of that plane change to the nose. One of the nice things about using the select lasso is this little trick right here I've kind of developed for myself. So you just Control Shift click on the poly loop. Okay, so Control Shift click on that edge loop right there, and on this edge loop right here, so it'll hide everything else. So Control A to be able to mask everything that's visible, Control Shift A to bring it back, and now we can control just that little bit. And that becomes really helpful for me to be able to control specific spans. It helps me to control edge and form transitions and things like that. Really, really helpful. Okay. So we're going to want to try to like minimize these nostrils a bit. So I'm just going to I'm going to go through and kind of smooth it out just to kind of get rid of it. We'll see how we go about it here in a minute. Get rid of that. Okay. So now we can work on the shape of that nose a little bit better. Okay. Let's see right here. Another thing you're going to want to try to be careful of is that you're going to want to try to minimize the bags under the eyes. Yeah, that lasso select tool trick with the edge loops, it's incredibly useful, and that's one of the things I really like about using clean topology in general. because it helps me to be able to use tricks like that to really make my workflow very efficient. Okay. So now here's where we want to go through and think about, okay, the way that this cheek is flowing needs to kind of flow down. This is good. I'm going to take that chin and kind of give it a little bit of a different transition. I feel like it might be coming forward a bit too much. Okay, maybe take that and take the actual point of the chin, kind of pull it back some. So this way we're getting kind of like this edge, you know, like the main face of the muzzle area, kind of have that kind of pulling back, and then you have one kind of going for the top of the cheek, one for the top of the forehead. This is a person that somebody else made. So I'm going through and giving them my opinions on how I think it could be better, how I think I would do it differently. What do you think?
Sure.
Huh?
Sure.
Sure.
I'll sit with you.
If you want to, you can sit. Okay. Now be careful how you sit so that you don't fall down, okay?
When I fall down, I hold on to the pillow.
If you fall down, you hold on to the pillow, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Alright, let's see.
Her eyes are green.
Yeah, her eyes are green. It's a pretty good choice for her, huh?
Yeah, I like her eyes pink. Do some people have green eyes? And do some people have green eyes? And
So
some
one of the things I would do is maybe just give it a little bit more of a, you know, push back in the corner of the mouth there, and I think that'll help to kind of sell the fleshiness of the mouth. And then we'll probably want to go through and kind of minimize this transition just a little bit.
Do some humans have green eyes?
Yeah, some humans have green eyes. Yeah.
What did you do?
Let's see. One of the things trying to go through and do, just kind of refine transitions, refine breaks in the flow and things coming through. For the nostrils, might even try something like that. Just kind of What's up, bud?
Is she a character in the movie?
What?
Is she a character in the movie?
Can't hear you, buddy. What did you say?
Is she a character in the movie?
No, but she looks like she could be, huh?
Well, I didn't see her in a few days.
What movie do you think she would be from?
I don't know. I don't know where she came from.
How old do you think she is?
I don't know. Does she kill animals?
You know, that's a good question. I don't know if she kills animals.
I think she helps animals you know. She has mad eyes.
She has mad eyes?
Yep.
Okay, so for right here, I would probably go through and... Oops. Like, so I'm just trying to go through and kind of create more of a planar, but like a subtle planar change for the collarbone rather than what was there. And subtle being kind of the key with, you know, making things looking you know, feminine and pretty. The legs look good. I'll come back to the face, I think, in a few minutes. Let's come down here and see what we got. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go in and let's do transpose master. Oh, compose mesh. Please. Okay.
That's more like it.
That's more like it.
I like her eyes.
Okay. So for her boots, one of the things I feel like I'm seeing is that the boots are a lot smaller than they feel like they are in your sculpt. So I might try. I'm gonna try this. Okay. I'm gonna put my gizmo like right down at the heel. I'm gonna turn on symmetry. And let's make sure that it's straight up and down. And so I mean, you can go through and you can use your regular scale, right? What I want to do is I want to scale it in the X and in the Z directions. So I'm going to use my Y scale, and then I'm going to hold Alt. That'll make it so it scales in the two directions at once. Let's do that. Okay, let's see. Let's just gonna kind of pull the feet so that they're inside. And then one of the things I want to do, let's get rid of her body. We don't need that at the moment. Oops. Okay. I'm just gonna kind of shorten this. it was feeling a little like unnaturally thick at the bottom, and I don't know. I guess I could see a couple of different things happening with these. I can see it being kind of like a wedge heel. So let's see if I can get. I guess I'll pull this over here and we can look at it. So I see it being something similar to like this or like this. Or I also see it being like a moccasin boot. Something kind of like this or this. So you see we got like these moccasin boots where it's a flat heel. Or I also see it being something that has kind of a heel to it, which feels kind of cool. So it all just kind of depends on what it is that you would like it to be like. I want to take this. It's almost like she has no soul in her shoe. They're Flintstone shoes. So yeah, it's a little bit too short. Yeah, it's quite a bit too small now. Take it and maybe move the feet so that they're facing a little bit more forward. It's kind of one of the tricky things about stylized characters, especially if you go through and you if you play with the you know what, let's do this. Instead of changing my background color, let's go over here. We'll just change the model color. That way we can see the silhouette a little bit better. Make sure that's the only thing I have selected. Let's turn on the local symmetry. Yeah, maybe a little bit too much. Something like that. It does feel like there's kind of a different sort of slope right here. I think so. So here's what I think. I think that if yeah, so working with the transpose master is great because you get to take everything down to as if it were a single subtool, and then work with your pose, and then you can go ahead and take it back in as if it were all done separately. So yeah, super beneficial, really good. And like right now, I'm able to kind of reshape all these different parts of this boot at the same time, rather than going through and kind of working on pieces individually. It all depends on kind of what it is that you need to be able to do, though. So if I need to be able to do, oh, that's interesting. If I need to be able to work on these pieces separately, I mean, I can still do that inside of Transpose Master by using, you know, my masking like I've been doing, or I can use my my move topological brush like that, you know, be able to take pieces and, you know, kind of pull them in a shucks, what am I trying to say? You know, by themselves. By themselves. Okay. Yeah, and then once I get it to a point that I feel like I kind of like, yeah, just take this. I'm just gonna kind of adjust it out a little bit. Trying to make sure that the heel is coming down beneath the leg. Shoot, what else did I mess up? There we go. Thought I had the regular move brush on, but I guess I had the move topological brush on. That happens. Alright, let me see. Okay, cool. So then from there I can go back into Z plugin, hit T-pose to sub T, and we'll see, you know, one by one all these pieces will get put into their new place. One by one. Cool. Okay, let's turn on perspective and let's take a look and see. I think I might have taken the feet a little bit too far, but not too bad. One of the tricks, the things that we'll do, you know, we want to adjust the hair so that it fits. Are I missing a piece, or is that just how it is so far? One of the things that we'll do, let's kind of pull this together. Oh, it's all separate. Okay. Yeah, just kind of go through and just kind of pull this together some. So one of the tricks or things that we'll do oftentimes is we'll go in and we'll say, you know, just to make sure that that spot isn't visible, we'll go ahead and we'll select the color of the hair, you know, just hover over it and hit C. Okay, and then we'll come in with, you know, just a standard brush, change it from ZAD to RGB, and we'll just color that spot. That way it's not a whole. In fact, you know, you can go through and you can kind of color the most of that scalp. And it looks super goofy by itself, but you turn it on, you never know. That's a pretty typical thing with the with the textures. One of the things that I would be mindful of is to create a sense of where the hair is coming from. You know, origin. You know, all hair is going to have this. You know, it's going to grow from the roots and it's going to grow out. So now, if we're going through and looking at our concept, it looks like the concept is going to have the hair possibly going down in front, a little bit, not a ton, but you know, a little bit in front of the character's face. And then, so what we're going to want to try to think about and do, okay, so we've got kind of like this sort of peak in the middle where it's kind of coming out. And then we have this hair kind of coming, yeah, it's changing it too much. Let's see. One of the things I want to try to be careful of in playing with hairlines and stuff is I want to make sure that it's a continuation of the character design. So let's see. Let's take this. There we go. Okay. And that's gonna start to help to make that sort of transition there. One of the things that we're going to try to do with the hair is we do want to try to make sure that we're doing what we can to preserve the clean silhouette. And so far I think the rest of the hair down here is doing a really good job on that. So I think up top what we're going to want to do is we're going to try to keep that silhouette pretty clean. Okay, because it's really clean and simple and straightforward in the concept. So we're just going to go through and kind of look at it from all sorts of different angles. This part's going to be kind of more the tricky area to make it work. In fact, I wouldn't even do that. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's say I'm going to take this and we're going to start over and do the T-pose mesh again. I want to go through and kind of reshape the neck a little bit. The neck in the concept is really narrow. So come here, come on, select it. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead, let's just take it, kind of narrow it in a little bit. So from this, I'm trying to decide what it is that I feel like I'm seeing. I'm trying to adjust the neck accordingly. so far I think that's pretty good. A little bit wider, a little bit narrower there. A little bit lower of a transition from neck to shoulder. Cool. Okay. I think that's working. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let's save it just so that it's downloads. Okay, we should be good. Alright, sweet. Replacing this. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty good start. Let's see if we can go ahead and see if we can get a good quick save. Okay. Don't know if you've done this before, or if this is something that you would know how to do, but yeah, going through and kind of putting the concept behind, or the sculpt behind the concept with Spotlight. It's a really great way to kind of compare. And then under movie, you can go up to timeline, show, and then you can just make a little tick mark. So it's a little key to kind of, you know, if I lose my spot, if I move my thing, I want to get back to that spot, I can just, you know, go back, you know, hit my left and right arrow key once there, and we're good. So I mean, so by doing that, I can see there are a lot of things kind of just off, even just what we've done in this little short time. I'm going to try to experiment, just pull this out and see kind of what it is that it does for me. It makes her way too wide. So, let's try pulling that back. Because I think, that's just way too much. It might be one of those things that's kind of more of a 2D cheat. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of come in here and figure out how I can try to kind of cheat that look. Just going to pull that back, pull this forward. Yeah, and then yeah, sometimes it's just a matter of going through and thinking about maybe what the design intent was, and then trying to plus it, you know, taking it as input, not as the final design, not as the final idea, the only thing that you can do with the concept, you know. I got a little bit too shallow or something. Yeah, I suspect that you're using Z-remesher topology right here, Anthony, right? Is that where this topology is coming from? What is that? Let's... I'm gonna turn that off. Is that like a tier, little like wet geo or something? Is that what that's supposed to be? Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and turn that off. Trying to find that shape a little bit. There we go. And it feels like the eyebrows on the model might be going out a little too wide. So I would probably just kind of bring this in a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna experiment with something real quick, just to see if we like it. Let's try this again. So one of the things I'm trying to decide is how flat her face is. Because it feels like, looking back at this design, feels like it may be, and it feels like it's starting to pull the shapes a little bit better. So maybe it's a matter of just kind of reworking how far forward certain shapes are. I don't know. It kind of just I think really might be good. I mean, since it just feels like a different person now. It might be like eye shape. So maybe it's just a matter of going through and taking these and... Oh shoot. look at it from different angles to try to figure out exactly what it is you're trying to achieve with it, and then what in the world just happened? I don't know what it's trying to do, but it was doing something weird. One of the things that you can do oh, okay. Yeah, old eyelid. That makes sense. Okay, what I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to go ahead, I want to pick the color from the concept. Oops. So I'm getting the right, lip color. In fact, we could get the right skin tone color too by picking from here. So if you have your spotlight active, and then just hit C when you're hovering over a color, you can see it's letting me pick colors directly from the concept art. So once I do that, okay, good, I can come over here, RGB, color, fill object, and so now we know that we've got that exact color. Fill that, fill this. Okay, so now I want to come in and let's get the lip color. Just gonna take this up, get my. This has just kind of helped to keep things a little bit more separate as I'm looking at it, so I can help to define these shapes a little bit better. Okay. Oh good, hopefully this is useful, and hopefully it's useful to, a lot of people. whoever needs the feedback. Just a little nitpicky thing, I guess, with the shorts look really good, by the way. I think one of the things that we could do to kind of strengthen it a little bit, this button. Let's take this. We're just gonna shrink it down. And then, like we wanted to, or as we did with the face, we can just come over here, activate our spotlight, hit C to pick that color, and then we can come up, color, fill object. So now we're getting that color in there. Cool. Yeah, dude. So far, so good. Okay, so now let's do this. Let's go. Let's X that out. Okay. for the sake of kind of showing a little bit of progress here. Kind of pop this in here. Put that there. Okay, cool. So what I want to do is I'll come over here and we will say let me open it up again. Oh, it's because I hit the. Let's see. I should have renamed it when I saved it. Okay. Let's go ahead and take this. Let's save it. 46. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to re-download Anthony's original model. It should be ready for us here in just a minute. Okay. Real quick, just to make sure everything's in the same shader, I'm just going to go ahead and say Z plugin, subtool master, fill, material, okay. Okay. So you can see the difference there. And then here's the original. Okay, so you can see we went through and we did a bunch of different things, you know, going through and kind of tweaking the shapes in the face. I didn't touch the arms, I think, at all, or the upper torso, except for that collarbone region, made it a lot more subtle. It's still catching the light a little bit. And then we changed the boots up quite a bit. Might have made them a little bit too small. But yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Go ahead and I'll take a screenshot of that, send it back your way. All right. There he is. All right. And let's see, just in case we wanted to get some closer shots of faces too. Go ahead, we'll do that. And then we'll do that. So yeah, a lot of what I tried to focus on in this was just taking it so that it had a little bit more of the shape language that I feel like was coming out of the concept. And I feel like there's still a lot of work that could go into it to make it so that it's more refined and so that it feels more appealing. But it's starting to go in that direction. So yeah. Let's see. Let's do this. We'll say print screen again. Cool. Yeah. And I just sent them in separate emails because I'm cool like that. All right. Cool, dude. yeah, let me know if you have any other questions. And yeah, and like I said, hopefully that was fun. I enjoyed getting a chance to work on a different character for a little bit, and yeah, you're doing a stellar job so far. So keep it up. I look forward to seeing your progress once you go through and you know, work out some of your little some of your things that you want to refine and perfect on it, and yeah, super cool, dude. Thanks for sharing. And just so that everyone else is aware, I do have this draw this in your style giveaway going on over in my on my Instagram. In fact, that's gonna be a little bit too dark. But yeah, so you can see, I mean, this is kind of my progress in taking my let's see, spotlight, texture. Oh, autosave. You're welcome, Anthony. Thanks for sharing. It's a fun model. It's a great design. I think that it'll be a really successful project when you're done with it. Let's see, plug-in texture, load spotlight, chicken granny. Okay, so this is my my concept. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see the giveaway in there. This is the design I came up with. This is the 3D redesign that I've started. So go ahead, go find it, go follow it, participate. Got some pretty cool prizes, including some of my my original 3D print sculpts, and yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So I'll probably start working on this again, I don't know, maybe tomorrow or something. We'll have to see. But yeah, hope you have a great day, and I'll see you around. Bye bye.